Welcome to A Slice with Dice, a place for honest conversations about the realities of education. I'm Corey Alderdice, Executive Director of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I've spent nearly 2 decades navigating the joys, challenges, and unexpected moments that come with leading schools. Each week, I'll share what works, what doesn't, and everything in between when it comes to igniting the full potential of our communities. I'm excited to share this journey with you, so let's get started. We're diving into something big that's coming down the pipeline for high school students, especially those eyeing college admissions. Yep, we're talking about the ACT. Starting this summer, the ACT exam will look and feel different from what most students are used to. So let's unpack what's changing, why it matters, and how students, especially rising seniors and others who are already familiar with the test, can smoothly transition to this new format. First, let's get clear on what's actually changing. Now, the most immediate and noticeable difference is that the test is actually getting shorter. Now, if you've ever spent a Saturday morning tackling the ACT, you know it can feel pretty marathon-like. In the new format, the total number of questions drops significantly from 215 down to 171. That's a noticeable cut, and it means that the overall testing time shrinks from around 3 hours to just about 2. That's a big deal when you consider how mental fatigue can set in after hours of testing. Another key change is that the science section, historically one of the 4 pillars of the ACT, is now optional. That's right, optional. Students who choose to take it will receive a separate STEM composite score, but the main ACT composite score, the one that most colleges use, will now only include English, math, and reading. This is a shift aimed at giving students more flexibility, especially those whose college choices don't emphasize science. And speaking of scoring, let's clarify how that's changing too. With the new format, your composite score, or the number you and your family anxiously wait for after testing, will be solely calculated based on English, math, and reading. Science, if you decide to take it, stands alone. Similarly, the writing section stays optional, just like before. Math is getting slightly streamlined too. Instead of 5 answer choices per question, you'll now see just 4. That small change might not seem like much, but over dozens of questions, it can ease decision-making and anxiety. Now, another subtle but important shift is that experimental questions, those pesky unscored items the ACT uses to test future content, will now be embedded within each section rather than presented separately. So while you'll still encounter these, they'll be seamlessly mixed in, making the experience more fluid and less disruptive. But what's driving these changes? Well, ACT reports that it's responding to student needs, feedback from colleges, and the broader shift toward digital testing. So let's explore the perceived benefits because there actually are quite a few. One clear benefit is reduced stress. A shorter test means less mental fatigue. Students often complain about the length and intensity of standardized tests, so shaving nearly an hour off the exam addresses that directly. It also gives students more breathing room per question. With fewer questions, students can better engage with the material, think deeply, and showcase their skills more accurately rather than simply racing against the clock. Now, the optional science section provides another layer of flexibility. If you're aiming for colleges that aren't particularly STEM-focused, or if science isn't just your strong suit, you can focus your energy elsewhere without feeling penalized. But for students who excel in science, the optional science composite allows you to showcase your strengths more clearly without overshadowing your overall composite score. These changes also address equity and fairness. For example, fewer answer choices in math might not seem groundbreaking at first glance, but it subtly levels the playing field for students who struggle with anxiety of multiple choice exams. Likewise, fewer total questions and a shorter duration can help students who might previously have been disadvantaged by the sheer endurance required for lengthy testing sessions. And then there's the move toward digital testing. Back in April, the ACT began rolling out digitally nationwide. This approach aligns better with students' everyday experiences, offering faster turnaround on scores and potentially smoother test day logistics. So, if you're a rising senior who is already accustomed to the old ACT, what should you do to adapt smoothly to this new approach? Well, the very first step is to clearly understand what's changed and what hasn't. Although the test looks different, the fundamental skills being assessed, critical thinking, reading comprehension, math proficiency, grammar, those haven't changed. The content areas remain consistent, so your existing preparation won't be wasted. Instead, it's about tweaking your strategy. Now, your next move should be deciding strategically about the optional science section. Research the colleges on your shortlist. Do they require or prefer STEM scores? And if so, prepare accordingly. If not, it might be better to direct your study time towards strengthening your core skills in English, math, and reading. Keep in mind that many selective colleges, especially those with a STEM emphasis or students declaring STEM majors, will still expect you to take this part of the exam. Adjusting your pacing strategy is another crucial step. With extra time per question now baked into each section, it's important to practice pacing under the new conditions. Taking updated practice tests will help you get comfortable with this change. And don't forget, fewer choices per math question means less guesswork, allowing you to refine your test-taking strategies and focus on quality rather than quantity. As digital testing becomes the norm, familiarize yourself with ACT's official digital testing platform. Practice in digital formats, highlighting text digitally, navigating questions effectively, and simulating the actual test experience as closely as possible. But you can also continue to seek out testing sites that offer the paper-based version, at least for the time being. But that said, I have seen some of the digital innovations through prior engagement with the ACT, and there really is a lot to like about the digital format. And importantly, engage early with college admissions offices. Ask directly how they're planning to interpret these new scores. Do they require the optional sections? How will they handle the separate STEM composite? Clarity here is essential and will help guide your preparation. And finally, consider retaking the ACT strategically. The ACT Superscore policy remains, allowing you to combine your highest scores from multiple attempts. If your first attempt under the new format isn't ideal, retesting lets you focus on improving specific sections rather than starting entirely from scratch. And as always, your school counselors, ACT tutors, or trusted teachers can also provide invaluable guidance tailored to your personal strengths and college ambitions. Don't hesitate to reach out to them for personalized advice. So yes, the ACT is changing, but these changes are broadly beneficial. The shorter, more flexible, digital-friendly format aims to reduce stress and better measure what students genuinely know. And for those students who have already invested time in mastering the old format, adapting your strategies can be straightforward and rewarding. The key is staying informed, adjusting your preparation methodically, and embracing the flexibility the new ACT offers. With the right approach, you're not just ready to take the new ACT, you're ready to crush it. A Slice with Dice is a production of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I hope today's reflection sparked some thoughts for your own journey. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let's keep learning and leading together. Until next time, keep striving for growth and excellence. Thanks for tuning in.